Welcome to episode 1 of the Homeground audio journey. Thank you for listening to us. We hope that during the journey you will learn more about the impact of the justice system on women in whānau. Creativity is essential to reclaiming our identities. We also sprinkle a little bit of wake the fuck up in the mix. We believe the justice system is broken, so let's build and listen to our communities instead. We'll be sharing some highlights from our past collective missions, having conversations about where we are now and where we want to be. We bring you our hopeful thoughts of the future and how we have survived and thrived as wahine, mamas, aunties, and artists. The first episode sets the tone for the stories we want to tell. It's about the house that Homeground built over the last 5 years, introducing some of our core crew and what we set out to achieve with this audio journey.
Ko waio. I am she, a clear surface to set, the wood clean, the space saved, the challenge is met.
Steeped in honeyed promises, hopes of sweet filled body hugs. These pepper words sprinkle on my unsavoury choices and my heart gorged on splintered skewers. With heaped toxic expectations, broken spirits, near misses.
In my pickled lessons, baked in bittersweet suffering, you have smoky veiled judgments, long held over my head, butchered in punishment, digested raw with your acidic voices, broiled consequences.
In my freshly strained pain, now marinated in briny tears.
These bits of me that are ripe for the preaching are now my lukewarm entree to a tray of intentions.
Is my vulnerability palatably served?
We bring to the boil and surrender our spice, picking up found sustenance in woman's wisdom.
We need the experience lived, our mouth-watering creativity, proof is in the healing, and our connected, collective support.
This feast is spread for you, taste if you please, from the plate that you choose, ko waio.
Our table, in our space, in your time, when you choose.
So we'll start with a breath. Haki roto. Haki waho.
Ano.
Ano, haki roto. Haki waho.
Nau mai ngā hua, nau mai ngā pai, nau mai kia nui, kia hāwere ai. Welcome all things that have grown, welcome all things that are good. May they be plentiful and abundant. So here we are at the studio, in the radio room. Who's here? Jackie's here, creative director of Homeground.
Pip's here, from Homeground.
Roseanne is here. Admin, creative advisor for Homeground. And foundation participant with Philippa for Tahi.
Oh yeah, 2019.
Yeah.
In the house.
That was the first Homeground, right?
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, that's cool.
That's right. I just thought of that because I was like, okay, 2019, I did do the pilot. That was Kaukura, but it was Philippa and I together on the first Homeground Tahi.
Project Tahi. Yeah, because that's so the year Homeground started was 2019. Kahukura was the pilot. Anita Grafton, who was our co-founding clinical queen of trauma.
4 years, Project Tahi was we didn't have a lot,
No.
really, compared to what we've got now.
We didn't even have a door handle. Do you remember that?
I didn't even
somebody came and
spoke
put
that
up the
much.
wood above
we
the
had
top bit.
Heather and Brian were like, this will not do. You have no door handle and you have a hole in the wall. It doesn't
That's
connect to the
right.
roof. We're going to come and volunteer. And at the time, yeah, they built the top of the wall so we'd have a private space.
remember.
We were in Lower Hutt. At the
At the
Remakery.
Remakery.
Yeah.
Upstairs. Up those stairs, wow.
Remember we had an amazing artist who came on board who just had a hip replacement, who made it up and down those stairs every day for 3 weeks.
Those stairs were like, they blew you away. I really hated those stairs. It was like,
The only joy was knowing you'll get to the end and there's the toilet.
Yeah.
The exciting Rachel has returned. Hello. Do you want to just introduce yourself?
Hello everyone, my name is Rachel, and what else would you like to know?
We were just, what were we saying? What we said who we were, and we were like, well, again, why are we here?
Why are we here? I think I am here to help tell our stories for a narrative that it's not, commonly spoken about. So, yeah.
We're missing
That's such
Anna
a beautiful
today.
word.
She's our creative producer. She's a bit
yes,
busy
she
on another
is.
gig, but she'll be back. And she made us a tray, which we call the Tray of Intentions. Each morning after we've done our maybe breath or whatever, we have a moment when we talk about our intentions, the energy we want to hold or the gift we want to give, eh? So Tray of Intention is like beautiful characters.
We've got things like a praying mantis,
A
soft toy,
unicorn.
a unicorn,
Dragon.
Yeah, we've got a dragon. What else is on there? We've got that beautiful tuka that's very grounding.
We have our spray.
Yes.
Spray.
Spray.
That we made
Or
up.
anything that you want to put that
Bring that
belongs
day.
to you.
That's
Yeah, like a
right.
That it means
Right.
something to you.
Yeah.
Some sparkles.
Yeah.
We've had lots of car keys on our tray.
Oh, really?
Car keys, sunglasses, at one point, I think it was a cigarette or a lighter that was like thrown on the tray, and it was like, I'm going to burn shit down. And I'm like, yeah, you leave that on the tray. And we have a cup of tea.
So my intention for this is that these stories, what we share, doesn't stop here. That's my intention for this. That it is a space and place for us to continue into the future. Because just like you're saying, home ground is about creating space.
Yeah.
And this is the opportunity to create even more space.
Yeah.
Because I don't want people to tell my story their way or what they think. This is what happens when you're with probation or part of justice system or whatever it is. I don't want people to say that's what they think. I want them, this is actually what happens. I'll tell you, ask me, don't assume. So that's my intention for this audio journey, is that it goes beyond today.
Beautiful. Total call that. Hard.
My intention's already been covered. It was actually coming here
Yes!
Wow.
Yeah, coming here, turning up.
because I had second thoughts. I thought I've got with my harakiki all ready to get started on.
Yeah, for sure.
And it was a juggle. Do I really want to go into Wellington? Oh my God, Roseanne's text. I better go. And it was just. I'm glad I did come. It was like, okay. And normally you guys know, I'll just be here even if you don't hear from me.
I think it's like at the end of the day, we're women with lives, and the justice system is a part of our life. But we don't often get to control our narrative, to control our stories. So audio journey for me is going to be like an exciting adventure.
My intention, I think what I want to, I think it's giving words that people can connect to, I feel, because home ground for me in prison was my soul would have died without it, literally. And so I think being able to give that back to other women so they can grab that and, might just get them through another day as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hope, eh?
Hope. Giving hope.
Actions speak louder than words. You say you respect me. Just let me be free. I feel too weird. I feel like I don't 'cause no one can see it all. Crying out for you to care for my soul. Actions speak louder than words. You say you respect me. Just let me be free.
At the first time where my probation officer was actually anxious all day because he was worried about me doing a runner. And he told the whole upper heart officer, like, you know, I've got a client down there and I'm a bit worried. If anybody gets a phone call from home ground, she's done a runner. So he was quite surprised when he picked us all up, and I was still there, like...
Oh, he was
he
a
couldn't
champion,
get over
right?
it.
He
Yeah,
was a real champion on that.
I just stuck out, and then I just stuck to it. I said to them there wasn't a point because it's a long way to walk home. I think every woman that's come to, they don't know what to expect, a bit like we were at the beginning.
That's right.
And you can actually see ourselves in those women when they first come.
You're right, you can.
And it's like, wow, you know, we know where you're coming from, but we're going to soon sort that out. Yeah.
And it doesn't take long, eh?
No, and I mean, even the 3-day short programs is the same as like having a 3-week one.
Yeah, well, that's just started. Was that last year we started doing 3-day projects to sort of start going into the regions, like we're going to Manawatu and Turanganui-a-Kiwa, and now we're going down to Ototahi, Christchurch. And I think those 3 days are kind of a beautiful little snapshot of home ground, not our 3-week massive full-on gorgeousness, but it's like, here, come and have a cup of tea with us, you know. But I do think that's been really nice this year, just to sort of wind down a little bit, have these 3-day projects and not be so intense.
Yeah, because I think coming back to home ground day for me there was a couple of things as well. Was depression was a big problem with me, and anxiety. I wasn't a talker. I wasn't a speaker. No, I don't have a problem now with just get out and having my say.
Yeah.
But I
Love
also...
that. Sharing is caring.
Yeah.
and I also noticed that my art, I went from really dark pictures with my depression and anxiety to I was fed up with it. Whereas now it's just colour, bright. If it's not bright, it's still colour. I very rarely go back to those grey, dark drawings, paintings. You know, I try not to use those colours, although they might be a black is a main colour. Not in my pictures. There's no space for that darkness.
I've seen both of you grow as artists, and that you now know that you can express yourself more clearly through your art form. Do you think that's changed at all?
I think it's probably a couple of things for me. I think that because I'm able to allow myself the space to write, that helps me process what's going through my head or what's going through my life. And when I'm able to process that, then I'm able to do things differently.
Taking space.
That's right. So important.
So many, yes, so
But
hard
I think
to do.
that before nobody allows you or tells you it's okay to take that space. Because when you're a mum, sister, auntie, niece, grandmother, all those different, you wear all those different hats, you seldom prioritise yourself as a woman.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think with home ground, I've learned to prioritise myself and not feel guilty or as guilty about it.
Yeah, and knowing you'll be a better parent when you take space.
Exactly.
Far out, lifetime learning. Like, hey, when you take space, your ideas come cleaner. When you take space, you are, you feel clearer. And I do think home ground for me was like my artistic practice needed, it was doing nothing, right? So I had to carve out the space, and that's what those 3-week projects were about. How do I carve out space for myself to do the things I want to do, and also with trauma recovery, like you need space to do that work.
Yeah.
You can't just do it while you're trying to care for everybody else or fit everybody else's priorities, make money, etc., etc.
Yeah.
No, and COVID took us on a 3-year-long kind of mission around the world, didn't it?
In a different direction too, I think, because during COVID or just after COVID has been, our beautiful workbook came out.
Yeah, and then we started
Because we
remote
had to.
work, hey,
There was a need for it, eh? That
Yeah.
we've been able to adapt is amazing.
I think we'll have to do a whole episode on prison and what happened during COVID. We might have to unpack some of the trauma from that.
I think out of all the projects I really enjoyed was doing the one on the soundscape.
Soundscape with Dan.
Actually, and the movie part of it, with
short
the
films.
whole thing where we just did all those short films.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Is
That was
that
2020.
The hand ones and the... Yeah.
Yeah, so we did a couple of projects in 2019, which is how we sort of built the groundwork of Homeground, like how we were going to practice, that it was going to be trauma informed, that we had, trust the process was one of our guiding principles, and honouring the wisdom of lived experience. And then when we hit 2020, COVID came in.
That's right.
Yeah, and
So the short films came in, and at that time my mum had just passed away.
Yeah,
I remember
that's
that.
right.
Yeah, that was...
Because I don't think we expected you to be there, eh, Philip? But you
Yeah, I think
came
it was a
back.
time there where being in Gisborne on that first, because I did our first
That's
online.
right, our first
in
online
Gisborne.
was there.
Thank you, Ministry of Culture and Heritage and Credit
And
New
after
Zealand, for your
seeing you
support.
guys online, it was like, I can't handle this, I've got to go back. And I came back down to Lower Hutt, and that's where we were doing the filming, and it was like, I think that's why I liked that project the most, was because at that time was COVID started, and my mum passed away the week before COVID. So yeah, that was a hard time, but I needed to have that time to get over that process of grieving.
Yeah, man, and get through the
And-
grieving, hey? That's
yeah.
like one of our core things that we all
And-
have in common.
I think when we had Sasha's group doing the dancing, I think that's where we were all in tears.
I think for me, it's all the projects are different, but they all have similarities or same thread through all of them. Because I remember I once said that I don't know why I keep coming back, but it's that familiarity brings me back, but then I grow more too, and there's more depth to me.
Yeah.
And I'm not afraid to have that depth now. I think previously I used to be like, just sit here and be this tiny little ball and nobody will see me, don't talk to me, don't ask me nothing. That's right. Just like you, Philippa, on the first project, looking for that door. Are you going to run out that door? But I think that what's special about all the projects is that sense of belonging, I think. I belong. I don't have to try and fake it to make it. Regardless of what I bring, it's accepted. And I don't have to dress it up or make it fancy, put bows on it. That is that connectedness, I think, about Homeground, and staying connected, the ability to stay connected, I think is important.
Do you think this, like doing this, recording ourselves talking, how do you reckon, I mean, what do we want to get out of it? What's our reason for doing a radio show / podcast / audio journey / sound adventure?
The person that was didn't even know what podcasting was. This is awesome that I've actually now I forgot we were even
Doing stuff.
doing this.
Yeah.
Recording. It's like, thanks, Jackie.
Yeah, I'm just bringing it back. Bringing it back to reality.
Where's my balloon? I was like, okay.
Because that was our process, right? We would create a poem or a work of art, and then we would have a musician or a filmmaker respond to it, and then we would kind of perform it out around the amazing table, Kath Foster's table. We have a collaboration with her. She gives us a big, long table to change the shape of our conversations.
Table.
It's beautiful.
With our 2 handbooks.
Yeah.
And I think those, they tell the story almost of Homeground. We will listen. We do care. We don't just refer you or give you services that might not even help. They're tried and
Well,
true.
yeah, if you can't do it this way, we'll do it another way. and those handbooks come in really handy.
A really good example was when we were looking at budgeting and we were trying to come up with a name for the budgeting part, and we're like, man, it's so hard being broke. And then it's like, are we actually broke, or is it just there's not enough money to pay for the cost of living? And then like, shit, but what about if we feel guilty about the fact that we might have a thing for the pokies, you know? Or what about if like, yeah, that food bank's great, but all they're going to give me is budget rice and I don't even have a decent pot to cook, you know? So remember we came up with being broke, it's a juggle.
Yep.
You know, and it's that thing of knowing it's not forever, but when you're in that moment, you know,
it feels like forever.
It feels like forever, yeah. So that's when we, you know, that's how we come up with our resources, right? Lots and lots of conversations about lived experience and having gone through it.
I mean, who would think that in 2019, if we were still in 2019, that we would be sitting in a place like this right now?
In order to do this work, we have to carve out space of our rest of our life, right? And I think people take that for granted, that to do an art project, you know, like, but it actually takes a lot of space. And Homeground, you know, trying to get to the place where there's enough of us that want to do something like this is a gift. So thank you for your time and energy, because it's
It's good because it's just given me time, ideas on what I'm going to do when we get home.
Inspiration for the day.
Okay, this is what I needed to get out of that studio and actually
energized.
let the brain. Yeah.
Oh, nice work.
I think that's probably why women keep coming back too, because it doesn't. I think it's Jackie and Anna both say the same thing. Even if it, but I think I heard it first from Jackie. Even if it's just one woman, just one, and that to me is like, wow. Somebody will usually say, no, one's not enough, but absolutely one is just as important as 10 to 12. Might give me a bit of a sucky moment there, just thinking about that. Might shed a tear or two. Better cut that out and think of my intention for today.
But, hey, one woman and extended family and whānau, like, you think about how much impact one woman has on the world. Huge. Hey, yeah. To acknowledge our collective force as a crew, the people that have made this happen today, the space they've carved out for us in the community and the radio station in the world. We are so thankful and so grateful for all of the women that were here before us, the ones that are here right now, the ones that will surely come after. Kia ora to the incredible universe.
One more thing. Remember, we want to share like a resource.
Yes, the
What
call
could
to
it
action.
be? That's right, call to action. I forgot the wording. Like, what is it called? Call to action.
Our call to action is for you to please go check out our website, where you'll find our handy handbooks, beautiful content, and the story of Homeground. All our podcast episodes will be shared each week through Wellington Access Radio, the Homeground website, Spotify and YouTube. www.homegroundnz.com.